Hello everyone, welcome to BotTales Lab. Today I am going to teach you what is Arduino, what projects you can make using Arduino, what does Arduino do. That is today topic is introduction to Arduino. So this is how basically how our Arduino looks. It has some digital pins, some analog pins, then it reset button, inbuilt LED. Basically Arduino comes in three versions. First version is Arduino Nano. Second version is Arduino Uno and third version is Arduino Mega. All three versions little bit different from each other in terms of their functionality, in terms of their internal storage and in terms of their number of analog and digital pin. Okay, now let's see one by one in detail more about Arduino. So what is Arduino? Arduino is an open source platform used for building electronic projects. All Arduino boards have a microcontroller. A microcontroller is basically a really small computer. So, what is Arduino? So, basically, it is just like a small computer. You can use it for making any project, whatever you want. Like you can use it in making project of home automation. That is what you can do in home automation project. You can control your home appliances like LED, anything just by using your phone, or any other thing. Okay, later you can make some robotics car which can be controlled using Bluetooth or any other thing. Understand? Now let's see what things are there on our Arduino. So our Arduino consists of DC power jack, voltage regulator, USB port, some digital pins, some analog pins, some power sources, crystal oscillator, reset button, indicator light, serial communication, serial programming header, interface chip, analog reference voltage. So here one indication light is there. So what this indication light refers to? That is whenever you will connect your Arduino to some power supply or you to your laptop, this indicator line will turn off and it will indicate you that yeah that your Arduino is connected successfully and it's working properly. Okay, now let's see function of other pins in detail further. So USB port. So basically this is a printer USB port used to load a program from the Arduino IDE onto the Arduino board. The board can also be powered through this port. Okay, so basically for writing programming to your microcontroller, you have to use one software which is called the Arduino IDE. Just you have to write basic C++ programming in Dot, which is very easy to write and according to code written according to the logic of the code, your output will work. That is, you can see output according to the logic of your code. Now, how you will upload code to a microcontroller? So basically, you can upload code to a microcontroller by using a USB cable. That is, USB port is connected to a laptop and another side is connected to your Arduino board, and you can just upload code to your Arduino board. Your Arduino board has some inbuilt amount of memory which can store the code for running in future, and you can get output according to a logic of code. Okay. Now let's say power port. The Arduino board can be powered through the AC to DC adapter or a battery. The power source can be connected by plugging in a 2.1 mm center positive plug into the power jack of the board. The Arduino Uno board operates at a voltage of 5 volt, but it can withstand a maximum voltage of 20 volt. If the board is supplied with higher voltage, there is a voltage regulator that protects the board from the burning out. Imagine that you uploaded code to the Arduino and now you want to do home automation project. For that, you have to connect your Arduino board near to your switch. But every time it is not possible for you to supply power to your Arduino board to your laptop. So during that time, you can supply power to your Arduino board by using this power port that you can just use normal AC to DC adapter and you can supply power through that. So generally our Arduino works on 5 volt, but if in case you provide more voltage, then also no worries as our Arduino has inbuilt voltage regulator which will convert higher voltage than 5 volt into 5 volt and our Arduino will work on that 5 volt. Okay, let's see what is microcontroller. So the microcontroller is called as heart or brain of our Arduino board. In Arduino board, the microcontroller which is used, its name is Atmega 328P, which is made by Atmel. Atmega 328. Some of the feature of this microcontroller is it has a flash memory of 32 KB, that is the program is stored in this memory. It has a RAM of 2 KB, that is random access memory of 2 KB. So it has an inbuilt CPU, that is what the CPU do. The CPU fetches the code from the flash memory, that is it will take code from the flash memory and it will run your Arduino, that is it will provide you output according to a logic of the code with the help of RAM. EEPROM. So EEPROM stands for electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, which is of 1 KB. This is a type of non-volatile memory and it keeps the data even after device restart and reset. That is, if in case due to some error you restart your microcontroller and you reset your microcontroller, then also your updated code or updated data will not get erased from your microcontroller as it will be stored in the EEPROM. Okay, now let's see what is analog input pin. So basically your Arduino Uno has 6 analog input pin from A0 to A5. This pin can read the signal from an analog sensor like a temperature sensor and convert it into a digital value so that the system understands. This pin just manage voltage and not the current because they have very high internal resistance and only a small amount of current flows through this pin. Although these pins are labeled analog and are analog input by default, this pin can also be used for digital input. That is, some sensor are there like temperature sensor or gas sensor which provide output, or you can say which provide input or which data in terms of some particular value, that is in the range of 0 to 225, in the range of 0 to 120. While other sensor are there who read data in the value of 0 or 1, or you can say low or high. But you can't connect this sensor who read value in some particular into digital pin. A digital pin only provides sensor in the format to low. So if you want some particular value in some range, you have to connect your that sensor pin to analog pin. Basically, analog pin convert this analog data into digital data which can be understood by your machine. Just its name is analog pin, but its function is dual. That is, it can work as an analog pin also, and it can work as a digital pin. Now let's see digital pin. Basically, our Arduino Uno has 14 digital pin from D0 to D13. These pins can be used as either input or output pin. When used as output, pin act as a power supply source for the components connected to them. When used as an input, they read the signal from the component connected to them. So basically, this digital pin can be used as an input also and as output also according to our requirement. Just imagine that you want to read sensor from some data. Now you are reading sensor from the data, so that means that your sensor is input as it is providing input per microcontroller. So you can assign your sensor as the input in your code. Now take another example in which you want to turn on buzzer or turn on LED according to your specification. So in this thing, you have to provide some command to turn on LED or turn on buzzer. So in this case, your LED or buzzer will be specified as output in the code. Understand? Now in the Arduino, some of the pins like pin 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 are labeled with tilted symbol as you can see here. This tilted symbol is called as PWM, which stand for pulse width modulation. These pins are normally digital pin but can also be used as a PWM pin. So what does PWM means? Basically, consider that if you connect your some light or motor to PWM pin, you can just control the brightness of your LED or the speed of your motor. Take an example like if you connect LED to a normal digital pin, what it will do? It will either turn off or it will either turn on at full brightness. Same consider motor example. If you connect motor to digital pin, it will either turn off or it will rotate at full speed. But if you connect these things in your PWM pin, then in case of LED, you can control brightness of LED that at how much brightly you want to glow your LED. Similarly, you can do with motor like how much fast at what particular speed you want to rotate your motor. Understand? So this PWM pin also play a very important role in Arduino. Now let's see what is reset switch. In your Arduino, you can see one red color switch will be there on Arduino board. This is called a reset switch. So When this switch is clicked, it sends a logical pulse to the reset pin of the microcontroller and now runs the program again from the start. This can be very useful if a code doesn't repeat to returns a weapon that code is uploaded to your microcontroller, but it will not work properly. So in this case, you can press reset button, and in this case, just your code will start running from the initial state. That is, your code will start running from starting state, and according to that, you can get output. Now let's see what is crystal oscillator. Basically, crystal oscillator is used to provide some clock signal or some timer signal to a microcontroller so that it should work properly. This crystal oscillator provides 16 million times a second, that is, it will tickles 16 million times a second, and you can use this crystal oscillator for doing addition, subtraction, or etc. work. Now let's see what is TX-RX LED. In your Arduino, TX-RX LED are there where TX stands for transmit and RX stands for receive. That is in our Arduino pin out of the 14 digital pins, starting pin 0 and pin 1 stand for TX and RX. That is, you can use these pins for serial communication. So whenever you will connect some pin to TX pin, this TX LED will glow, and whenever you will connect some pin to RX, this RX LED will go. So by that you can indicate that your serial communication is activated and you can successfully transfer data between serial communication. LED will blink whenever the Uno board is transmitting or receiving data. Okay, so what we learn today? So today we learn what is Arduino, what is the use of Arduino, and what components are there on our Arduino. Later we see which controller we use in Arduino, what are the feature of that microcontroller. Later then we see in detail how many digital pins are there, what functions of digital pin. Later we see how many analog pins are there. Later we learn about power sources, crystal oscillator, reset button, USB port, voltage regulator, indication LED, and all the other things. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.